Hello there, you're watching our television. This is State of Business. I am Pamudha Katugampala. Let's have a look at the headlines. Government plans digital promotion agents to develop computer applications. President reveals. Reduction of medicine tariff easing the offing. Subject Minister says. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now let's have a detailed look at today's stories. The President announced plans to establish a digital promotion agency aimed at developing computer applications for the collection and monitoring of data from various government entities in Sri Lanka. President Ranil Wickremesinghe shared these intentions during a meeting with governing and opposition members of Parliament at the Parliament complex yesterday. The purpose of the gathering was to address the overlapping work of the Oversight Committee and expedite its progress. The President stressed the Council should recognise its own obligations and designate chairmanships of committees and advisory councils, as well as their representatives with suitable targets. The President mentioned that until recently, the private sector was responsible for the development of computer apps to gather and store data from government institutions and that it should be stopped. President Wickremesinghe said prompt measures have been made to establish a digital promotion agency for this purpose. Further, the Sectorial Oversight Committee was ordered to provide a report on how the government's money has been utilised 2 months before the budget. Member of Parliament Partli Champika Ranawaka said human and physical resources are insufficient to support the 73 committees and advisory councils in Parliament.
Digitalization and computerization are discussed in 1993 when I was Prime Minister. Today is 2023. They still haven't done that. We have to do this. It's a battle by itself. If one committee has to handle, how can we do that?
Meanwhile, President Ranil Wickremesinghe intervened to appoint Dr. Harsh De Silva as the new chairman of the Committee of Public Finance after a long tussle by the opposition in the recent past. The appointment on the recommendation of the President was done in a meeting with governing and opposition members of Parliament at the Parliament complex yesterday. Dr. Harsh De Silva assured he will ensure that positive oversight will prevail over matters of government expense, fiscal responsibility and the management, sustenance and servicing of public debt. Following several delays for the appointment, MP De Silva had slammed the SLPP-led government for preventing his appointment to the post. The issue was also raised by the opposition leader Sajith Premadasa on several occasions. In late May, Minister Prasanna Ranatunga revealed the selection of committee has many reservations and concerns about appointing MP De Silva to the post, arising out of sentiments expressed by him in Parliament and actions.
ඉතින් ඒකට අපේ සිවිසියක සහයෝගය තියෙනවා කළ යුතුමයි. ඉතින් අපි මයිදාන වේසන් කමිටියකටයි කමිටු පබ්ලික් ෆයිනෑන්ස් එකට තමයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ මේ මුලික කාරණා ටික කරගෙන යන්න. ඉතින් අපි ඉස්සර කරගෙන.
Meanwhile, government will reduce the maximum retail price of medicine registered under the National Medicine Regulatory Authority by 16% from the 15th of this month. Minister of Health Keheli Rambukwella said this at the post-cabinet meeting press conference held on Tuesday. The Cabinet of Ministers cleared the proposal for the price reduction made by Health Minister Keheli Rambukwella and to review the prices every 3 months. Health Minister Keheli Rambukwella said yesterday that the consumer must reap the benefit of the rupee's appreciation against the dollar. The minister said that a fair chance should also be given medicine importers with a transaction period to sell the remaining products, both under higher prices. Minister Rambukwella also said the relevant government gazette notification in this regard is being drafted. He emphasized the move followed extensive discussions with the relevant authorities. Considering the devaluation of the rupee against the US dollar last year, the Health Ministry approved raising the maximum retail price of medicines by around 97% in several instances. The regulatory authority established under the National Medicines Regulatory Authority Act No. 5 of 2015 is responsible for regulating all matters related to imposing prices of medicines. Stay tuned for more stories after this short commercial break.
Connect with the National Business Directory by SLT Mobitel. We are connecting businesses with their existing and potential customers to reach heights, helping at every point. Getting your business listed with the directory locally is the foundation of local SEO and the first step to acquiring more customers. Your true local search empowered through printed directory, digital directory, mobile app, ebook, call center 1212. SLT Mobitel, the connection.
IWS Aviation.
Welcome back, you're with State of Business. Now, the collapse of the construction sector has resulted in institutions being closed, large numbers of professionals migrating to other countries, and over 1 million jobs being lost. This information was revealed at the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Alleviating the Impacts of the Economic Crisis held recently in Parliament. The Sectoral Oversight Committee on Alleviating the Impact of the Economic Crisis discussed the basic plans needed to save the construction sector from the impact of the economic crisis. The committee was held under the chairmanship of Member of Parliament Gamini Velaboda. The committee was attended by representatives of construction, architectural and engineering associations, the Construction Industry Development Authority and the Chamber of Construction Industry of Sri Lanka. It was also recognized that there were issues such as lack of institutions for training opportunities for apprentices in the construction sector. The solution proposals for these problems were discussed continuously, and a document consisting of 50 issues was presented to the committee by the participating stakeholders at the committee. It was decided to classify the existing problems in short, medium, long-term and institutions that need to be intervened to solve them, and summarize them to be limited to 10 basic areas and present them within 2 weeks. Further, focus was on the immediate lowering of the price of construction materials and to take possible measures in this regard with the intervention of the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. Meanwhile, Taprobane Seafood Sri Lanka and Direct Source Seafood USA have entered into a strategic partnership to produce, market and sell Sri Lankan sustainable seafood in the United States. The agreement was signed by the two parties with representatives of both governments in Colombo earlier this week. This partnership is set to exceed $20 million in annual sales in 2023, with plans to surpass $40 million in annual sales in 2024 and beyond. This strategic partnership came about to meet the growing demand for eco-recommended Sri Lankan blue swimming crab and 4-star BAP certified shrimp in the US market. Taprobane Seafood's Managing Director Timothy O'Reilly emphasized the importance of understanding the expectations of distributors and consumers regarding sourcing seafood. Direct Source Seafood President and co-founder Ian Kennevis said it was an enlightening experience visiting the fish camps and processing facilities located in northern Sri Lanka. Taprobane Seafood and Direct Source Seafood actively promote sustainability, ethical sourcing, and the integration of technology in the seafood industry. Embassy of the United States of America in Sri Lanka Deputy Chief of Mission Douglas Sonic and Board of Investment of Sri Lanka Director General Renukam Veerakon were present at the signing. Now, the Central Environment Authority has found that no proper management had been conducted for the project carried out by certain parties to control the improper disposal of plastic and polythene. CEA Chairman Supunes Pathirage said this while addressing the opening event of a plastic recycling centre in Mulleriava recently. The chairman said certain planned plastic and polythene waste projects that had been conducted by NGOs, INGOs and industries had failed due to mismanagement. The CEA chairman said Sri Lanka is in the 68th position in the world for improper disposal of plastics. It's been identified that triple planetary crises, which are climate change, air pollution and biodiversity loss, which are interconnected and also connected to plastic pollution. The agreement was signed because many parties engage in polythene and plastic production at household levels without taking the proper license. With the amendment of the National Environment Act in a few weeks, the plastic and polythene producers are to gain an extended producer responsibility as the producer is responsible from the production until its disposal. Therefore, the CEA has decided to establish a national plastic centre within the authority by 2024. After establishing the NCP, all projects for the raw materials, disposal or production will come under the purview of this centre. Stay tuned, we'll return with the stock update.
Connect with SLT Rainbow Pages, your true local surge.
Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The All-Share Price Index gained 45.28 points to close at 8,767.34 and the S&P SL 20 gained 16.05 points to close at 2,479.87. The turnover was 0.8 billion rupees and over 34 million shares were traded. Coming up next are Forex rates. Well, that's it for tonight. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.